understand that true leadership transcends titles. It's about making a lasting impact and lighting the way for others to follow. With every endeavor, every initiative, and every partnership, we affirm our dedication to shaping the leaders of tomorrow. We wholeheartedly believe that by investing in the youth, we are investing in the betterment of our world. It's a shared journey towards a brighter, more equitable, and harmonious future. At YTOP Global, we stand committed to fostering the growth of leaders who will not just succeed individually, but will also champion the cause of positive change on a global scale. Together, we're not just creating leaders, we're crafting a world where their influence ripples far and wide, making this planet a better place for all. Join us in this resolute confession. We are YTOP Global, and together, we are building a future that thrives on the excellence and leadership of our youth. At YTOP Global, our confession is clear. We remain unwaveringly committed to our mission of empowering young people to not just get better, but to surge ahead in every aspect of their lives. Our passion is rooted in the belief that the future lies in the hands of the youth, and it's our solemn duty to nurture, guide, and uplift them to their fullest potential. We understand that true leadership transcends titles. It's about making a lasting impact and lighting the way for others to follow. With every endeavor, every initiative, and every partnership, we affirm our dedication to shaping the leaders of tomorrow. We wholeheartedly believe that by investing in the youth, we are investing in the betterment of our world. It's a shared journey towards a brighter, more equitable, and harmonious future. At YTOP Global, we stand committed to fostering the growth of leaders who will not just succeed individually, but will also champion the cause of positive change on a global scale. Together, we're not just creating leaders, we're crafting a world where their influence ripples far and wide, making this planet a better place for all. Join us in this resolute confession. We are YTOP Global, and together, we are building a future that thrives on the excellence and leadership of our youth. At YTOP Global, our confession is clear. We remain unwaveringly committed to our...
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us. We've started this YTOP and Friends 4.0 last, that was yesterday. And this is the 4th year of running this impactful program. We could not have it last year because of other program and engagements. So normally it should be 51. So this is 4th year of running this consistently. And I want to sincerely appreciate you for joining us tonight. If you are here and you joined us yesterday, I know you enjoyed the experience. Thank you for the feedback that we've been getting. But today is going to be different because yesterday we spoke about this car, because YTOP and Friends goal for this year is rising together. And while you're rising together, what is the essence or the core value of what we are going to be doing or discussing? And what we have been discussing since yesterday is unspoken scar, the journey of pain to gain. And yesterday, we have several speakers who have enriched us with their experience and give us so many insights that can help us become a better version of ourselves and leverage from the story that they've shared with us so we can maximize our potential. But today is going to be different. Yesterday we spoke about this car. Today we are going to be discussing about the movement. So we are going to be learning from stories, real life stories of our dear speakers. These are prominent individuals who have paid the price, who are doing well, and they are striving to be a better self or become a better version of themselves, likewise, on a daily basis. But when we look at the strides that they've made, these people have gone far and wide, and it is good to learn from their experience because wisdom is profitable when we know how to direct and use it. And I'm so excited today to have prominent individuals, leaders that I've worked with personally for years, and I can beat my chest for them every now and then. So we are excited to be here today, or you are just joining us today. Please introduce yourself in the chat box. Let everybody know you, and we will celebrate you. So this is your first time, say, today is my first time joining YTOP program, and everybody on this call who would definitely celebrate you. So I hope you're doing that right away. So thank you very much for joining. And if you're around yesterday, I also celebrate you for taking the intentional journey. Being intentional is the first drive into excellence. And I welcome you to the path of excellence. And I hope that you will not just be a partaker of this by listening, but those who will actually practice all that you've learned, so that you will leverage on the story of becoming a better version of yourself. So because growth is not about having everything figured out, it is about learning how to move even when clarity comes slowly. And so today we are going to learn about different things from the experience of my amazing speakers. So without further ado, permit me to call on my speaker just to say hello to you guys, so that we can know that they are live and here with us. Just to greet hello, and we will start the session. So on my first list, I have my dear, amazing leader, my own special Oga. I call him the Guru. He's one of the most supportive leaders I've ever seen, I've ever worked with. Practically speaking, he lived by example, and is an epitome of knowledge and wisdom, guiding younger generation like myself in this journey of impact. Welcome me by saying just an introductory hello to us in person of Mr. Oluwatomisin Olatoye. Mr. Tomisin, are you on the call? You're muted. You're muted.
Good evening, everyone. It's nice to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to
Thank you very much, Mr. Tomisin, for joining us tonight. It is awesome to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Also, on this show tonight, I will also be introducing the next guest, another dynamic individual, which I so much respect with all my heart. Is my dear brother. I've been working for years, and I can speak of his excellence. Permit me to quickly introduce to you Mr. Samuel Agumbiade. Mr. Sam, hello, are you there?
Good evening,
Hello, Mr. Sam. Yeah, good evening, Mr. Sam.
Yeah, good to be here. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, and also on the speaker list for tonight is my amazing fellow, my dear sister. I call her my beloved love. All right, for those who have been waiting to see my love, I call her my beloved love. She's an amazing fellow to me. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me Evelyn Omolade Ajimuda.
Hello.
You're muted. Yeah. Good evening.
Hey. Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really glad to have you all here. Like I told people that were active yesterday, I said all my speaker, I'm not the type of person that share questions ahead of them, so they will go and use maybe AI to generate answers. No, this is practically raw experience. The topic of it says it all: the unspoken scar, the journey of pain to gain. That is, without pain, there will not be gain, right? So the P in it is progress. And we want to definitely learn from the experience. So I want to indulge every one of you. Please, if you are not called to talk, please mute yourself so that the call will not be disturbed. And please let frequently use the chat box to communicate, so that my team also on the call will definitely give response and take note of things. So before we start, I officially appreciate all my team members, the YTOP Global team. Thank you very much for the effort in doing this together with you all. I so much love you. I respect you. and I celebrate you. Thank you for making this happen, and thank you for the support in making the reality of this amazing session unveil. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in no particular order, I will be throwing questions to my speakers because we want to learn from their experience. And so it won't be like yesterday that I'll be giving question and answer. This time, it's more like a panel session, and also it's like once I give the question out, we'll have contribution from the experience so that every one of us can learn maximally. And if you do have a question, please don't be shy. This session is for every one of us to learn. So please drop your question in the chat box so that it's an open conversation that we can learn and maximize the time. So we have a lot of time to learn from them in the short moment of this session. So I hope you're ready. The writing material is with you, and you are ready to get this journey started. So, ladies and gentlemen, I officially open this session by starting with a short opening statement that states that you are the solution maker. You are on this earth for a purpose, and while you are here, you need to maximize your time because time is ticking, and as much as the time is ticking, you must be connected with the right people to ensure that your journey to actualizing the vision seems seamless. So you have the responsibility and intentionality to drive this to reality. In as much as you desire it, you must be ready to pay the price. And the price comes by you giving it what it takes. Thank you very much. So let's get started. My first question, I will direct it to Mr. Oluwatomi Singh. And my question is, is practical as usual. Many young people doubt themselves because their progress is slow. Many people doubt themselves. Many young people doubt themselves because their progress is slow. How do you personally separate slow growth from lack of capacity?
Yeah, very well. I can hear you.
Yes, I think there's an echo from the piece here, please, or is it you? Is there anybody? Yes, I can hear you, but it's not a bit sharp. But can you hear me? So let me hear you like that. Can you stop? Let me hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Is it better?
Yes, it's better. Thank you very much. So do you hear my question? I should take it again.
Okay. Go over it again.
All right. So I said that many young people doubt themselves because their progress is slow. How do you personally separate slow growth from lack of capacity? Thank you, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much, Damilare. Good evening once again, everyone. My name is Oluwatomi Siolatoye, as Damilare has rightly said. I have a number of years working with youth and then working along different field of endeavor. Presently, I describe myself as an educator and a business intelligence leader, bridging the gap between business, data, and technology. Now, doubt. How do you marry self-doubt? Okay, so let me add that was self-doubt and capacity. So now, capacity is, like somebody said, is an installed capacity. Everybody has an installed capacity. It is there. There is nothing you can do about capacity. It's just like having a car with an engine. It's either the engine is 1 horsepower, 2 horsepower, 3 horsepower. That is capacity. There is nothing you can do about capacity. Now, who drives a car determines how fast and how well the car will go. And driving that car will now be a function of skill, experience, and exposure. Skill, experience, exposure, and then let me add education. So if you have never driven a car before, and you are put beside behind a 4 horsepower vehicle, if this 6 engine vehicle, obviously you will doubt your ability to drive that car. So doubt comes first from a place of ignorance. Ignorance of the capacity of the car and the ignorance of the driver itself. So the question of capacity is not something to talk about. What to talk about, or what we should be looking at, is where the doubt is coming from. Now, at some point, depending on our upbringing, doubt can come in at different times. Now, the truth is this. Even as I speak to you this evening, when I enter into certain rooms, I still have doubts. When I enter into my HOD's office, for example, and is asking me questions about my role and the function within the business, sometimes I still have doubt. But where I overcome the doubt, or how I overcome the doubt, is from the place of knowledge and self-awareness. I come from a place of, I have done these things over time. I have experience doing this. This might be a new terrain, might be something you have not done before, but judging by what I have done before, I can leverage my previous experience. I can leverage my exposure. I can leverage my education and then deal with what is at stake. So overcoming self-doubt comes from a place of self-awareness, knowing what you are capable of doing, knowing what you have capacity for. And the truth is this: you will not know what you can do until you get exposed, until you expose yourself to certain situations. So I'll tell you a very brief story. And I've said this several times, every time I have an opportunity of talking about this. I did pre-degree in Law University. I came in through pre-degree. And then my first semester exam, I had a 58%. And when we were coming in, we were told up front, for you to be considered for admission at all, you must have 60% average. First semester, I had 58. And meanwhile, somehow I had to go out of the degree for like 2 months to attend to another exam. Long story short, with all the other things I had to do, I came back into pre-degree, wrote the final exam, and then finished with a 70%. And from that point, because obviously it was not as if anybody helped me, it was at that point I evolved. Up until that time, I can't say that I have read overnight before, up until that time. But at that junction, because I was away from pre-degree for a long time, I came back to write the second semester exam. Exam was supposed to start on Monday. I came back to school on Friday. So I needed to catch up with everything that has been done in my absence. So Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, it was a marathon. I read 12 hours, 18 hours each day. And by the time I finished the exam and then the final result came out, I had a 70%. I told myself, any exam I write from that point, if I should score less than 60, I have failed. So I gave myself that benchmark. But the truth is this: I wouldn't have come to that point if I had not had an exposure of that situation and if I have not had to deal with it appropriately. And so what happened now is that from that point, exams is no longer my problem. Writing exams is no longer my problem. Now, that is not to say that sometimes I will have doubts about exams, or especially if I have not prepared very well. But from that point, I've come from a place of I have done this before. I just need to settle down, get into the mood, study, and I'll be good. So now, what that is saying is this: the capacity to succeed in exam is there. I have the capacity. I am not a dullard. I'm intelligent. I'm smart, right? But situations sometimes can make you want to doubt yourself. But falling back on previous experience and exposure and education makes me able to go beyond the self-doubt to do what I need to do. So that is just one of many experiences that I have had. Capacity is installed, it is there. But once in a while, you might have self-doubt because of situations or circumstances, but your exposure, your education, your experience are things to fall back on, to leverage, to deal with self-doubt. So if you are doubting yourself at any point in time, it is not a problem, as it were. It is the ability to turn that self-doubt, because doubt is like an energy, but a negative energy. You can turn that energy around by leveraging your exposure, your experience, your education, and the skills you have developed over time. I hope that answers the question. All right, thank you very much.
Yes, Mr. Sotomisin, before you go, now, from what you just said now, how can now we now differentiate the area of slow growth? You have the capacity, but you feel like your growth is very, very slow. So how do we encourage ourselves when our progress seems slow?
Talking about slow growth, it's relative. Okay, so this is the illustration I also tried to give. Two people set out to build a house. Both of them bought a plot of land side by side, but they did not tell each other what they wanted to build. Now, each person now went to meet an architect. Person A says, design a 6-room bungalow for me. I want it tastefully furnished. I want it good. Person B went to another architect and says, design a 3-story building for me. They did not mention to each other what they want to do. Now, both of them got to sites at the same time. Now, person A that wants to build a bungalow, it does not need such a deep foundation. But person B that needs to build a 3-story building needs a deep foundation that will carry the weight of that 3-story building. So while person A might have dug the foundation and started building up the blocks, and maybe the building is already at little level, almost roofing, person B might still be digging its foundation, pouring sand, pouring cement. At some point, it might look like a waste of resources. But at the end of the day, if person B does not lose sight of where he is going or what he wants to do, building a 3-story building, by the time his building begins to rise, it will rise above person A who's building a bungalow, and who probably might have finished before he has finished his own. So when you say slow growth, it is relative. It is a factor of where you are going and how deep you want to get into. Some people they have fast growth, they spread wide, but they have no depth. And they cannot hold so much weight going into the future. So understand what you are doing, what you are building, what are you building? As your life, my life is a building. and you must understand the depth of that building. So when I look at my journey up until this time, yes, sometimes I think that I've lost time. I sometimes think that maybe I should have gone beyond where I am today. No doubt about that. I sometimes think that, and I sometimes go over that thought. But again, I also understand that I wouldn't be where I am today if I had not gone through the things I have gone through. And the truth of the matter again is the fact that we all have different assets and liabilities from where we are coming from, based on parentage, upbringing, exposure. We have different assets and liabilities. Somebody that already something as the ground was prepared for him before he started at all is working based on an existing foundation, and compared to somebody that you are the one that is built, that is laboring to buy the land, clear the ground, try to build the foundation, and you're the one that is now trying to build. Obviously, you are not going to have the same speed. You're not going to be at the same rate. You're not going to be at the same rate. So, slow growth is relative. It depends on where you are coming from, your assets and your liabilities, and then what you are building. There's this story of the Chinese bamboo tree. I don't know if anybody have heard that story before. The story of the Chinese bamboo tree that takes, I can't remember exactly now, but I think it takes like 78 months or thereabout for it to develop the roots. And then by the time it developed the roots, the growth is astronomical. So that is what you must understand. Others might seem to be going fast ahead, but keep on your track. Keep on your own track. Keep on your own track. The moment you get to that place where your capacity, your time comes, you will overtake them, and it looks as if you never had a delay at all. This is my own conviction. This is my own persuasion. And this is how I live every day. This is what I wake up to every day. I see my friends that have gone ahead. So sometimes when I was still in my previous place of employment, there was a day I sat down and I asked myself that, assuming I was in a corporate world, assuming at the time I graduated, I got employment, my first employment was within the corporate world. By now, I'll probably be, no, not I will probably, I would have been a manager. I'll have been a manager, maybe having different teams under me, maybe I'll probably have an official car and all of that. And why that is true and possible, the lives I've been able to impact over the last or the few years that I was in my previous employment, I would not have been able to, I would not have met them, I would not have been able to impact them, I would not have created such impact. So you must understand where you're coming from. Now, I am in the corporate world, and I'm not starting from the entry level, as it were. God helped me, and then I'm at a particular level now, and it can only get better. So, slow growth is relative, is a function of where you're coming from and then what you are trying to build. I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
Yes. You captured it well. And there's something that you said that really, really resonated with me, which I immediately said that Mr. Thompson just clocked it, right? And that is the depth of your foundation is coined to the vision that you have seen about yourself. And I love the scenario of the building that you gave. Can't compare a bungalow with 3-bedroom flats and 3-story building, So that alone is as insightful as anyone could ever imagine it. It takes understanding to really capture that. And thank you for sharing that. I have it noted in my own diary. Thank you so much for that. All right, let me call my second speaker, Evelyn Omolade Ajimuda, my special beloved. All right, the unspoken scar is a story itself. I want you to tell us about Omolade transitioning, Omolade unveiling, the journey of Omolade of pain to gain, the journey of Omolade to inspire as many persons that they are at the point whereby they're almost giving up. Like, I'm tired about it, I don't want to do anything. This is the best time for us to learn and hear about the story of the unveiling of Ajimuda Omolade. Over to you, Omolade.
Okay, that's a very deep one. Thank you. Okay, first and foremost, I didn't really know this was the path you're going to take me through, but I just had it in my mind to read out a poem that I wrote long ago. And this is dedicated to everyone who is presently nursing a wound, because you cannot have a scar without being hurt. You cannot have a scar without being wounded. So for everyone who is going through pains, who is going through, some tough times, I wrote this poem and I named it, coincidentally, I named it Scars. This was way back, I think 3-4 years ago. So I'm going to read it now before I answer your question, Damilari. Now I wrote it, I said, through it all, I see the truth in your lips. I see the innocence in your eyes. And in your timidity, I could tell how brave your heart is. You staggered and walked on the hot coals of life. Came out with scars. I call them stars. They make you beautiful. Your scars are stars. And if you see a soldier, a very well decorated soldier, maybe with 3 stars, I don't know the ultimates though. If you see them and they open their mouth to tell you the things that they have gone through, from being reputed, maybe through posting to be to the desert and all of that, going through a lot of things, dodging bullets, slushing here and there and all of that. And you see them being decorated. You see a well-decorated person maybe coming out of his car, and you're like, oh, this man is a soldier, this is it. And he opens his mouth to tell you the kind of wounds he has on his body, or the kind of scars he has on his body. Omolade Ajimuda is a woman who has gone through a lot. She's a woman helped by God. Let me start with this. I graduated from the University of Obafemi Awolowo, and in the course of my study, put together, I had a total sum of 18 carryovers. I don't know if you got that very well. I had 18 carryovers. And at some point it felt like I should let me just die. Like, I can't have it anymore. I've come to the end of myself. No, I can't have it anymore. But the truth is, looking at me, you wouldn't say I am a dull person. I am not a dull person. I am not someone who doesn't know what she is doing. But I found myself in that position. 18 carryovers. How can I do it? What will I tell my parents? What will I tell my friends? I kept it to myself. I nursed this wound for a very long time. And it was eating me up. It was eating me up really bad, that I just felt like I wanted to stop schooling. I stopped going to classes. What else? I did all my best, tried everything, and I still ended up in that ditch. And then there was this particular day that I saw another result. I think that was in my 400 level. I saw another result. And then I ran out of my hostel. I ran all the way to, I don't know if OAU students are here, there's this Agric. I was just walking like a mad woman. I was just walking. And then I just felt like I should tell my parents because they never knew. And I know some persons might be going through this, in school and all of that. I just called my dad and I'm like, Dad, I have disappointed you. I failed woefully. And I don't know how you're going to take it. But I'm just telling you, in case you don't want me as a daughter anymore, in case you are so disappointed, I wouldn't take it against you. I understand. I'm just here telling you. And then you know what my dad told me? He said, Evelyn, he calls me Evelyn. He said, Evelyn, you are more important to us than your certificate. Come on. That was what he told me. And that alone changed a lot of things. I went home. He told me stories. I thought he was going to crucify me. I thought he was going to, just do a lot of things, but he didn't. Then I went home. And then he asked me, he said, what do you want? I said, sir, I don't want this department anymore. I want to do something that I love to do. And then he said, okay, no problem. So in part 4, in 400 level, I went to write JAMB again. I took JAMB. And then I passed. I picked, I think, Unilori. I picked. Then one particular day, I went into my lecturer's office. He was like a father, but I used to run from him because I just felt nobody wanted to associate themselves with a failure. So I just distanced myself. And something I want you to know about scars, about wounds, is that they come with shame and fear. You don't want to expose. I don't know where you were growing up when you fall down. I don't know if it has ever happened to you that you want to hide that wound. You don't want your parents to know that, oh, you are falling. That is exactly how it is in life. You don't want to show it up. Even if they are telling you there is a doctor that can heal you, you just want to be there because you feel nobody wants to associate themselves with failure. So I couldn't talk to my friends. I couldn't talk to anybody. So that day I just walked to him and I told him, I said, sir, I took JAMB again. I might be leaving this department. And he was like, no way. Then he sat me down. And then he took pen and a note. And then he wrote down, he said, what are the courses that you have as outstanding? And then I started listing all of them out. And then after everything, he said, Evelyn, he said, you can finish this course. These courses that you have as outstanding, you can finish them in 2 years. I said, me, 2 years, I don't want. How will my mates finish? I think this was, we're supposed to finish 2017. How will they finish? And then I'm still here. How will I face everybody? So that shame gripped me. The fear of something that I couldn't do in 4 years. How am I sure I'm going to be able to achieve them in 2 years? So I was just, there. And then he said, you will do it and I will help you. And then that was it. I went back, had sincere talk with myself. And I said to myself, if my parents that are paying my school fees are not disappointed in me, then whatever anybody else thinks, they should think it. They should say it. I want to make my parents proud and I want to make myself proud. I want to prove to the world that, yes, indeed, I am not a failure. So I started. One thing that made me go out of that particular situation was the fact that I didn't allow shame and fear hold me back anymore. I walked up to junior colleagues. I walked up to them, please help my life. Any notes that you have, because at that moment, I will be attending like 3 classes at the same time. They can't change the timetable for me. They can't change it for me. So I would have a class here. There was a day the lecturer saw me and was like, Iwomoye, you are in this class again. I'm like, just take me as I am, And a lot of things like that. Then there was this particular day that I can never forget in my life. I was in a class and the lecturer gave us a class work. And I could not even figure what it is. So I'm like, what is this? What is this? And then he asked us to exchange our notes so that they can mark and all of that. So when I exchanged my notes. It got into the hands of someone, and that person just busted out laughing at my notes. And immediately she busted out laughing. Everybody looked back. The lecturer said, "What happened?" And the lecturer walked up to her and took my notes. And she was like, and it was like, "Who owns this note?" I said, "Me." He said, "Get out of my class. I cannot teach a dullard. I cannot teach someone who does not know anything. Get out of my class." And guess what? That class was part one students were there. I mean, it was a class. I don't want to go into details, how my department works and all of that. And the door, the exit door was right in front of the class. It was as if the ground should just open up and just swallow me up. But I walked out. I was just crying. I didn't let that hold me back. And I said to myself, I was going to make it. Even if it was just with a pass, I will make it out of this department. I will make it. I will make it. So I started reading. I read like no man's business. I rescheduled my time. I did a lot of things. I prayed that God help me. Because the truth is, in other aspects, everybody knows that this person is good. This person, I am a writer, for crying out loud. I am intelligent. So what exactly is happening? So I don't know who might be here or whoever it is that is going through something and you are just there. You don't even know, why is this thing like this? Why is it? It might be for a reason. Because I'm going to be winding up with this. I don't know how much time I have. In the course of all this, there was a particular day, a lady was asked to come do some performance. And as she was, delivering her lines, she just burst out crying. She was crying profusely. So I had to take her away from the place. I took her out, and then I sat her down and was like, "Girl, tell me what's eating you up? What's happening? Why are you crying?" And then she said to me, "I failed." I said, "Wow, I'm so sorry about that." Like, I can relate. I can relate. And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. Have you told your parents?" He said, "No, I can't tell them." I said, "You have to tell them." She said, "You cannot understand." Immediately she said, "I cannot understand." I knew that I needed to use my pain. I needed to use my scar to talk to her. So I said, "Yeah, I know I cannot understand. I am not in your department. I can't understand. But can you understand mine?" Then I opened my mouth to tell her how many carryovers I have. Guess what? She cleaned her eyes up and she was like, "Ma, how are you still smiling? How are you still doing all that you do?" I was not done healing. I was still like, I was battered, but then through it all, I was still able to reach out to someone. And then I said, "First thing first, you need to tell your parents. Tell them so that they would be aware. And then you need to take that course again. Figure out what it is that you're not doing right, and then start over." And that was it. Today, she's a graduate. And this is me. If I didn't tell you that I had all this, you wouldn't see it on my forehead. Yes. And that is why I said, your scar is your star. Because today, places where I never thought I would stand, I have stood there. Things I never thought I would be able to achieve in life, I have achieved it. And I'm not even there yet. But one thing stands out for me in all of my journey, that whatever is written concerning you, only you can stop it from happening. Only you can stop it from. If God says, "This is how I want your life to be," you are the only enemy that can stop it from happening. Because guess what? If God has said it concerning you, He is faithful to make it happen. He is faithful to make it happen. So let me say this. You don't get a scar without getting hurt or wounded. You have to wear your scar. You have to wear them shamelessly. Because you don't know, if you hide your scar, you don't know who might be in that category that might want to, get healing from you. And your healing might their healing might just be in your hands. Just that word. Knowing that, oh, we are in the same WhatsApp group. Oh, this has happened to you as well. So I can relate with you. that can actually just help them. So this is just a little bit of my story, or the story of my life. Thank you.
As you are talking me, I was typing on my WhatsApp status. If you are not here, you are missing. Your scar is your star. Oh, deep. See, there's more to learn. And that is why I said that when you have people that have gone ahead of you, when you learn about their story, instead of you like, well, and I see hope for you. Thank you very much for sharing that. Let me call on the third speaker because a lot of things are questions already pop in my head, but I don't want to ask questions. I don't want to ask you questions today. I want it to be open. Mr. Samuel Agumbiade, let me have you right now. We've known you with the man of different feathers, and I want to ask you that. How has your definition of success changed from where you started to where you are now? We want to learn from your own story. The journey of Samuel Agumbiade. Over to you, Mr. Samuel.
All right. Good evening again, everyone. Am I audible enough?
Yes, sharp and clear.
All right. Thank you. I didn't get the beginning of the question, so I would like to, if you can help me repeat it so that I can just delve into it and then answer it appropriately.
All right. So I'm saying that how has your definition of success changed from where you started to where you are right now? That is the journey of Samuel Agumbiade.
All right. Okay. I think I love that question so much because I mean, okay. Let me start this way. First, I want to say thank you to YTOP. It's amazing that we do this every year. We do this every time, and every time together has always been a wonderful experience. I must say, it has shaped my life, and of course, I believe that one or two persons have been touched one way or the other. All right, let me put it this way. There's a statement that I heard in the course of my journey that has really helped my life. And that statement it says, a man can be 1,000 men in a lifetime. So which means in this lifetime, you can be 1,000 individuals, which means there's opportunity for you to evolve. There is a grace for you to evolve. You don't have to be where you are. You don't have to be the same person over and over again. There is an opportunity for you to evolve. And that's one amazing thing that has changed my life. Right, let me put it this way. Now, the first thing that I would like to say is this. There is a standard that people, that society, that your friends, that family, that church, mosque, religion, as the case may be, has put on us as individuals, and they define it as success. There's something you must be doing. There's a way you must look for people to say that you are successful. And so a lot of us live our life running helter-skelter, trying to fit into the definition of everybody about success. Now, let me put it this way. When you get married, for instance, when you get married, it is expected that after 9 months, maximum within the space of 1 year, they come to your family, they come to your house to say, oh, congratulations to the newborn baby and all of that. And then if it's not happening, they begin to ask questions. They begin to call you. They begin to ask you this question, all of those things. Now, according to society standard, if within the space of 1 year after your wedding ceremony, there's no child, according to the world standard, it means that something is wrong with you. Now, the question is anything actually wrong with you? When you finish from school, you graduate from school, you go for, now you're supposed to go for your NYC after you graduate, maybe maximum within the space of 1 year, you're supposed to go for your NYC and all of those things. Now, if you are delayed and then you didn't go to NYC until 2 years after, or 3 years after, people come to you and say that, oh, something is wrong with you. You are not successful at what you do. Because their definition of success is after school, you go to NYC. Now, if you go to school, if you enter school and then you started your career, you started your course, 100 level, 200 level, and then at 200 level, you, let's say something happened and then you have carryovers. Let's say 1 or 2 carryovers, and then you move to part 3, and then you have to do those carryovers. Now, according to what standard, according to education standard, according to academic standard, you're a failure. Because why would you have carryover? You have failed. I mean, that's the definition that everybody gives to us. So now, I am saying all of these things because I want to draw it from a personal experience, from my personal life. All right, so I will tell you my story, and then I will tell you things I think you should understand. Now, I am a science student. I want us to put that in at one point. I'm a science student. Now, from my GSS1 to SS3, my secondary school days, I never came second. I was always first position. And when we go to SS1, when we stop using position, and then it's just, I would get best in mathematics, best in chemistry, best in physics, best in biology, I don't get best in Agric. But out of about 9 courses, if I can remember, I would get 8. Best in 8, and of course, overall best in my class, and then they give me scholarship for the next class. And then it happened like that till I graduated from in SS3. And then I wrote my first JAMB, and I picked OAU medicine because my parents want me to do medicine, actually. And I don't like it. I'm very sincere. I don't like it because there are things I have phobia for, that I know that being a medical student with this phobia, I cannot probably do it. So, but I shall want to do it since they said I should do it. So I end up not doing it. I wrote JAMB, I passed JAMB, but I couldn't meet up with cutoff mark for OAU medicine, my first JAMB, so I had to sit back at home. Then the second year we started the UTME, because now I don't like mathematics. Personally, I don't like mathematics, so I just decided, okay, let me pick a course that would not require me to do mathematics in tertiary institution. So I still pick medicine in OAU for my UTME then. For Polytechnic, I think I picked the Federal Polytechnic then, and then I pick hospitality management. Now, what is hospitality management? That's hotel and catering. I picked that because it does not require mathematics. I don't like mathematics personally. Then, now I like numbers. I crunch numbers now. So, well, I got admitted to hospitality management, and then the day I was doing my registration, all of this, the HOD asked that he meets me in person because he saw my JAMB results, my O-level results, and he said that I must sign another taking that this course I'm starting, I'll finish it. I'll not go and write JAMB and leave them and wrote to OAU. Of course I did. I took the undertaking, and then I wrote the exam. I wrote the undertaking, and then I graduated as the best student in my department at the Federal Polytechnic area as well. I finished as the best student. And then, long story short, I entered OAU, and then I have some of my classmates from Ede in OAU. And then my first year, my 200 level in OAU, I think my first semester, I had 2.7 GP. And my mates that we finished from Ede together, they had 3.5, 3.7, 3.8. And being the best student left the school with them, and I had 2.7. I lost friends and a lot of things like that now. But at the end of the day, long story cut short, when I graduated with a strong 4.1. And how I got to do it, I don't know, but God did it. With reading, I read a lot. I read a lot to my 300 level. I was only sleeping 3 hours a day, all through my 300 levels. In fact, sometimes in classes, lecturer asked me to stand up because I'll be sleeping, I'll be dozing off, and all of that. Now, what did I study in OAU? I studied resource management and extension. Now, I want to look at the journey. I am a science student that is physics, chemistry, biology, and all of that. Then I ended up doing hotel and catering. Then I came back to it to do resource management and extension under Faculty of Agriculture. And then I finished from OAU, I go out, and then now I am a digital marketer. Okay, then I became a digital marketer. And then the path I am currently is sales and marketing. I'm a business developer. And I work with a multinational company currently as a business development manager. Now, in all of the story that I have walked you through, what I am doing and where I was coming from, they are not the same. But then how did I end up there? Now, some people will tell you it is the country situation. No, the country situation did not put me in the industry that I am right now. I am in the industry I am right now because I want to be in that industry. It was not because of the lack of job that brought me into being a business development manager in the agri-business today. It was not the situation of the country. It was a decision that I made. And then from being a business development manager in agri-business, I'm also becoming an investor in that same field because I decided to go in that field. Now, the definition of success from my parents' standpoint is that this guy goes to school, finish school, study medicine, and become a medical doctor. So that they will call my mom, my dad, Baba, and yeah, doctor. Now, I was unable to achieve that for them. I have failed. For the people that we finished together from I'm supposed to be a top manager in one hotel in Lagos, maybe a hotel, maybe Parking by Radisson, maybe Radisson Blue, maybe Continental, Rental Hotel, whichever way I'm supposed to be in that top place in hospitality industry, according to the people that we finished from Polytechnic together, but I am not there. So to them, I might be a failure. These days, when I go to Lagos and then I need to lodge in hotel, I have a friend of mine, my roommate in school, is a general manager in an hotel that has chain of hotel. I call him. He works my reservation. We still talk to tomorrow. Now he's in that field. Now, according to the definition of why we were in hospitality in management, that's success to him. And then for people that we finished together from OAU, Resource Management and Extension, they believe that right now I should be practicing what I did in OAU. Not practicing it means that probably I am not successful. And then for people that we are together, that they are always talking about, they want to travel out. My friends, my colleagues that have traveled out of this country right now, to them, the definition of being successful is that they've left the country. And then myself, that I am in Nigeria, doing my business and going to agriculture that is away from what I studied in school, is looking like they are more successful than I am. Now, that is how the world views it. Now, the question now is, how do I view success? So, as individual, the first thing that God has helped me to be able to do is to define for myself what success is. Now, being successful does not mean fitting into what standard. Being successful, let me just give you this simple definition. You don't have to agree with it, but this has shaped my life. Success is defined as the ability to achieve what you desire to achieve at the time you desire to achieve it, and then ultimately becoming who makes you a complete and a happy man. That is my definition of success. Ability to achieve what I desire. Note the key words. what I desire to achieve at the time I desire to achieve it. And ultimately, it makes me a happy and a fulfilled man. So, what brings fulfillment to me is what I define as success. So now, I was trying to fit into what standard. I want to do what people are doing so that I can be like everybody. But I've come to realize that in this life, you can't be like everybody. Being like everybody would inhibit you from actually becoming who you are designed to be. So now, there's a design for your life. That design for your life is different from the design for my life. Myself and you we are not running the same race. So trying to make you be myself is robbing you of achieving what God has designed for you. For some people, the peak of their achievements is to bless life. Why for some people, the peak of their achievements is to make money. Some people are so poor that the only thing they have is money. Some people are so rich that a call from their accountant can change the course of events for everybody. So now, practically, as an individual, sit down and channel your path. What is success to me? What will I do that will make me to agree and acknowledge that I am fulfilling the purpose that I am supposed to fulfill on earth? I can want to try my best to be like Oluwadamilare. Is on a mission, is following a path. If Mr. Damilare, Mr. Damilare has not eaten for 2 days, but he is speaking with youth for that 2 days, he is satisfied. No matter how you see it, his satisfaction is in seeing knowledge poured out into people and then they doing those things. Now, for him, if he's going to define success, he's going to define success in terms of the number of people that is able to impact and change their life positively as a change maker. Now, for some other, it is in how much they have in their bank account. Some people we have, some of us, everything we have in our bank account can go into empowering others, and we are fulfilled. While some others, how much they spend in a club is what defines how successful they are. So as an individual, you have a unique journey. I have a unique journey. As a matter of fact, one of the nicknames that was given to me is unique. In nearly everywhere. In fact, in my days in school, while I was in the editorial board, my nickname is Unique Pen. Why? Because the way I write is different from the way everybody writes. The way I do my things is different. So I am unique because I know that my journey is unique. So basically what has defined success for me is my understanding that all of us have a unique journey, a unique path to trail. And then the ability to follow that unique path and be the best in it is what makes a man successful. So when I come to understand that, I close my ear to the societal standard, and then I set up a standard for myself. One of the things that helped me was the book by Stephen R. Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. That book helped me to write the vision, the mission for my life. So everything I do from that moment till now is in line with the vision and the mission statement for my life. If my life does not permit me to talk to people, orientate people, impact people, I will not be on this call today. I am on this call today because it's aligned with my vision for life. So whatsoever that does not align with my vision and goal for life, you will not see me there. You will not see me there. And because if I am where I am not supposed to be, I cannot achieve what I am supposed to achieve. Let me put a pause to it by saying it this way. No matter how good you are, if you enter into a new city and you are walking or you are moving around with the wrong map, you will end up in the wrong destination. No matter how good you are, no matter how fast you can climb a ladder, if you climb a ladder and then it is leaning on the wrong wall, no matter how fast you are, you will end up in the wrong destination. So it is best that you design a map that aligns with where you are going to, and then follow the map through. For me, that is how I've been able to understand my path to success, and I'm following through with it. Thank you.
Sincerely speaking, my head is just busting. Thank you very much for sharing that. This is very, very important session, and learning from three speakers' story, raw story, is really, really amazing. For me, myself, and myself alone, I'm picking the points. I'm connecting the dots. And I'm very glad I'm here, not because I want to be here alone. I'm here because I'm connecting to the mind I need to hear from. And this is very important. So to everyone watching this, comment what you're learning in the comment box. Let's connect with ourselves. This is a place for us to learn, connect, and grow. A lot has been said yesterday. A lot is being said today, and we're still going to hear more things very soon. So thank you very much for that. Now that's the first section where you have shared your story, and this point I am now is about decision. So I will give each of my speaker let me give you three minutes, so that by 3 minutes. And after that, I want you all that you have questions. Like I said yesterday, today you will ask questions. So I won't be pouring questions for them. I need you to type out your question in the comment section so you can ask questions. This session is for you and myself. So I need you to pour out your question, type it so that they can answer for you. So my question that will open the floor for all questions, like I said yesterday, and I'm making it come true, is that I will start with Mr. Tominson. From Mr. Tominson, we'll go with Mulade. From Mulade, we'll go to Samuel. And how am I bringing the question? I want to please tell us the power of that small decision that helped you to regain direction, even before things fully make sense. The power of that decision that helped you regain direction, even before things fully make sense. That is my question to you all. So practical examples, and we open the floor for questions. Mr. Tominson, over to you, sir. No, we can't hear you, Mr. Tominson. Just to help us. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Very clear. Very clear.
Okay, so decisions. Let me just start by this way. Where I am currently, and where everybody is, as a matter of fact, is a sum total of the decisions we have made. Now, some decisions were made for us at a time when we were not, for lack of a better word, when we were not responsible. But after a while, you became responsible for yourself, and then the decisions you make are what eventually defines who or what else you become. Okay, so how did I come about regaining myself and then coming to this place where I am? Obviously, I'm still on the journey. I'm not there yet. Every time I look at it, I look myself in the mirror and I just look at myself and say, "Boy, there's still a lot to do. There's still a long way to go." But yes, I'm grateful for how far I've come. Okay, so one of the decisions that helped me was my exposure to books. My exposure to books. Um, so before I gained admission into the university, I got exposed to reading some self-help books and all of that. And so I carried that habit into the university. And I remember that part one, part two, part one, part two. I got attracted to anybody that has books. And then I'll pick the book, read, and all of that. And then if anybody knows OAU very well, there was a day I was working from my department, going through White House to pass Moremi down, go towards Angola. I think it was part two. It goes to Awo. And I was ruminating over some of the things I've read in some of the books. And then a question popped up in my head that a time will come that all these things you are reading from all of those books, all this knowledge you are gaining, a time will come, somebody will ask you, how did you gain this knowledge? How did you come to this point? And then I will say, oh, wow, it's because of books I've read and all that. And then somebody can be bold enough to say, can I steal some of the books you've read? And then I will say, oh, no, now, Abba, I was borrowing all the books. I borrowed the books, I read it and I returned it. And at that point, I made a decision. I told myself, from every money that I get every month as pocket money, I'm going to separate something out of it, and I'm going to use that to buy a book. And I made that decision. And then following that decision, if you know the old OAU, at the time that I was in OAU, there was a place called Old Buka. And there was a place called Moremi Market. So that time I went to Moremi Market, there was this artist that was there. And then I asked him that I wanted to make a stamp. And then I made a stamp with my name. I coined a name for a library, my own library, my name on it, add a library, add a signature, date and time, and I made that stamp. And from that moment, I started buying books, put a stamp on it, and I started reading. And then I remember in part 3, when I was getting my notes for courses, I got an extra note and I wrote on it, School of Leadership. And then some of my friends saw it and said, which school of leadership are you going to? And I smiled. I said, it's an informal school of leadership, because I just had the notion, I just had the knowledge that a time will come, I'm going to be in a place of leadership, and I don't want to get there and I'm not prepared for it. So that decision of getting to start reading books, that awareness of I'm going to become a leader, changed my perception, changed my circle of friends, changed my expectations, changed my look, my outlook on life. And so from that point, it was a journey of looking for opportunities to grow. I've spent my money to travel to places, to attend programs, conferences. I've spent my personal money to organize programs just because I want to be a blessing to people. So that decision is one of the many decisions that I have taken over time, and it has led me to where I am today. And How do you come about decisions? From my experience, one thing I've learned is that your thought process is what leads to the decisions that we make. If your thought is not sound, your decisions are not going to be sound. You're not going to be able to make a sound decision. So thinking, the quality of your thoughts, the quality of your personal reflections will influence the quality of your decisions over time. So I remember from when we were at my previous place of work, where I was working, at the point I just thought to myself, okay, so my background is microbiology. I studied microbiology, my first degree, microbiology from OAU. I have a master's in microbiology from UI. And so practically I stay in the lab. And then I also found myself in a profession at that time that involves teaching, research, and what have you. So I had to be in the lab. But at the point, I found that I was not enjoying the lab work anymore. The lab work became boring. For me to stay to prepare for lab work, I found it burdensome. But if you ask me to come and speak, if you ask me to prepare for a training, prepare for programs, I find that energizing. I find that stimulating. But lab work became laborious. So I started thinking. I really don't like to do things that I'm not proud, I'm not happy doing, or I can't give my best to it. So I started thinking, I need to make a switch. But mind you, I've done first degree, I've done masters. I was actually on my way to getting my PhD, but it wasn't flowing again. The lab things were not, it wasn't just it for me. So I started thinking. And then as I thought and reflected, got myself exposed to different words, personalities, and all of that, I had to come to a place where I had to make a decision of where next to go and what next to do. And that is what has led me to where I am today in my career journey. So personal reflection, very, very critical. Very, very critical. The quality of your personal thoughts, the quality of your personal reflection, it's going to affect the quality of decisions you're going to make. And like Samuel mentioned, this life that we are on is a personal journey. It is personal. Every other person that, of course, you have the privilege of journeying with, they are just, how do I put it now? They are participants, as it were, but they are onlooker. They will have their opinions, they will have their contributions, but it is first and foremost your own personal life. It is first and foremost your life. So it is what you make of it that it becomes. And the interesting thing is this: if you don't do well, people will relate with you as that. If you do well, people will relate with you as that. But mind you, at some point, you will not be able to say or give an excuse that the reason why I did not do well or the reason why I'm not doing well is because of a decision that somebody made on my behalf. After a while, that will not make sense to anybody. As a young person, maybe in secondary school, maybe going through the first degree or whatever, you might blame people or say your parents ask you to do this course that's why you are doing it, or it's because of what. But after a while, after some time, it is no longer going to be a function of what your parents or what people tell you to do. It's going to be a function of what you decide to do. What you decide to do. You're going to have to take responsibility for every action or inaction, and it's going to come from a place of decision. So there are things I have decided personally now that nobody can talk me out of it. There's nothing anybody can say. I am more than 100% persuaded. I have put my head into it. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm rigid. That doesn't mean I don't entertain people's opinions. But it's just that there are certain things I have locked up. That this is it and this is what I'm going to do. Of course, as situations arises, you are malleable, you bend, you change, but there are certain things that are just, this is the path to go, this is the way to go. So your decisions is very important, and the quality of your decision is going to come from the quality of your thoughts. I think that's how I'm going to answer that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Tommy. Saying you said something very paramount, and thank God you have been repeating this over and over and over. The value of investing in quality thought. That is true reading. Thank you so much for sharing that again. We always remind you, when we are reminded, we tend to put into action, and our conscious mind begin to capture them. Thank you so much for reiterating such an amazing point. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your decision. Thank you so much. So, Mr. Sam Agubiade, let's hear from you. Then Molade will just pick it up from there too. Okay, I think Mr. Sam, is somebody there? Molade, anyone?
All right. I would say my own turning point was when I decided to seek God. You know, looking at where I was coming from, I was a total failure. No caps. I was a total failure. So after my NYC, after my service year, I just felt, who is going to employ a third class older? Who is going to take me in, or who is going to, am I even useful out there? You know, I decided to seek God, and this is one thing. And if you have not taken anything from everything that has been said today, please take this. You need to seek God, whatever decision you want to take, especially when you don't have anything figured out. I know some people have things figured out, or maybe they said something. I think I've been hearing some things on social media, Nepo and Lapo babies. And if you're a Lapo baby like me, you need to seek God. So after my NYC, I sought God. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've come to the end of myself. I really don't know where to go from here, because I just felt like my academics and my academic excellence was not enough to take me to that point where I should be. So I sought God, and funny thing is, I just I perceived that I should go back to school. I mean, go and learn more. And I went back. I went back to school, but not the conventional school, not uni now or something. I went to a language school. I actually studied German. So I went to a language school. And back in 2016, I think I was in 300 level then. Something happened to me. We were asked to write an exam. So I paid for that exam. My dad paid for the exam. And we had, sections, series of, I think 4 modules. We have the writing, the speaking, the reading, hearing, listening, and all of that. So I did every other one. And then the next day, we're supposed to do the speaking. That's when you're going to be talking to your examiner one-on-one. And because of the kind of fear in me, I just felt like I don't belong there. That there's some set of people that can actually cope with this curse. So I left the house. My roommates, they thought maybe I had gone ahead. They didn't see me. No, I actually didn't leave the house. Yeah, sorry, I didn't leave the house. I told them just to go ahead. I was going to meet up with them. So when they didn't see me, they kept calling. Then they sent somebody home. And that person came home, put me on bike, said I should start going, that they will soon call my name. I took the bike, and when I got to the school, it was in Lagos Island then. When I got to school, I dropped and I went straight to TBS. I went to sit down there. I sat down there till nightfall. Everybody had gone back home and they were even worried about me. And that was I didn't write that exam. Now, fast forward to after my service year. And when I heard that, the Lord told me to go back to school. So I went back. I registered for language in a language school. And then I studied. I read like no man's business. The minimum I did was 8 hours a day. I read like mad, like a crazy person. And guess what? That same exam, I did it again. And I faced my examiner. And that same exam that I ran away from, I had a 70 in it. A 70 in it. And it just came to me that, so what happened back then? What exactly was the problem? What exactly happened? So that was one of the decisions that I made, that I would never be afraid of anything. As long as you cannot beat me. As long as this thing cannot, I will not be afraid. I won't be scared. So the thing that I did was to seek God, to face my fear. And also, I made sure I had the right relationship. Because in this world, you cannot do life alone. Yes, your journey, like our other speaker, Mr. Tomisi said the other time, your journey is unique. It is very, very unique to you. But you still need some people, around you. But you cannot base your life on theirs. That, the way, or maybe use their life as a yardstick for yours. But you can always have people around you, people who would help you. And that, after everything, after going back to school, I just took it one step at a time. One step at a time. And then it was just one day, and a friend of mine just entered into my gym and said, send me your CV. And the rest is history. Another thing I want you to take out from what I will be saying tonight is that access, when you have access, when people give you access, when they open doors for you, the doors are opened already. It will take your character, it will take your hard work to keep you in that room. It will take your hard work to keep you in that room. So one of those decisions is that once I have access, I am definitely going to be on top of my game to make sure I stay in that room and even go beyond that room. So like I said, you have to seek God. You have to face your fear. You have to have the right relationship. You have to have the right relationship. And in those times, I decided to do things that I love to do. I started to write. I was writing. I had 100 days writing challenge. Yes, 100 days writing challenge. I wrote every blessed day. I went to, I did a course in writing. I did content writing. I wrote for blogs. I did a lot of writings back to back then. Why? Because that was what made me happy. Like he was saying, like I think the other speaker, when he was talking, he was saying that when you get to a particular time in your life, that you cannot blame people for your situation anymore. Yes, I didn't want to study because I wanted to, that I studied. I didn't want to. But for how long will I blame the situation that they gave me the course? How long will I do that for? So I had to face my fear. I had to do what I love doing. So when you meet yourself at any junction, when you feel like, I am not feeling it, do what you love to do. If you love to sing, make sure you invest time in doing that which you love to do. You don't know. You might not know what doors that will open for you. So I kept writing and writing and writing and writing. I got, There was a time I got gigs in writing, and it was just peanuts. They were just paying peanuts, but I didn't stop. I just kept writing. And today, well, I'm an author in view. My book is coming very soon. And sincerely, it is one of those things that I wrote in my journals back years back that I am working in it now. So if there is anything I would want you to do as well, is to write out those things that you actually want to be, those things that you want to be, and you write them down. Once you write them down, you can run with them. You can always run with them. If you want to be this, don't just say it in your head. Have it written down. So anytime you read it, I'm here to achieve this. I need to achieve it. So back then, I used to write that I was going to publish a book. I didn't know how. Sincerely, I didn't know how. Because up till, I think some few years back, I didn't have anything. I was just there. But I wouldn't say I was purposeless. I was just there. But once I decided that I was going to make it, I sought the Lord. I faced my fear. And today, trust me, I don't think there is anything I'm really scared of, because I've seen it all. If other people can achieve it, I just believe I can achieve it. I believe I can, and I wear my scar everywhere. Before, I used to be scared. There was a time somebody told me, somebody asked me, he got to learn about my story. And then he told me, I would like to publish your story in I think it was Punch. And I told him no. I said, I can't. So what if afterwards people read my story and they now ask me, what have you achieved? And I'm like, I've not achieved anything still, even with all the story that I had. Will I tell somebody that I had 18 carryovers in uni? And they're like, okay, so what's now, after the 18 carryover, what's now, the different thing about you? So that time I just couldn't have my scar out there. But today, I wear my scar because I am a soldier, a well-decorated soldier in the battle of life. So wear your scar. Wear it very, very well. Make the right decisions with the help of God. When you wear your scar, you would attract kings. You would attract people that want to hear you. Sincerely, people with unique stories, they are often sought after. People want to hear from them. People want to seek them. They want to hear them speak the wisdom that they have accumulated in the past. So please, in every decision you want to make sure you seek God. Make sure you face your fear. Have the right relationship. Shut out people. If you need to shut out social media and all of that, shut it out. I think I left social media for a very long time. I didn't even want to, because by the time I get there, I'm seeing maybe one of my colleagues that has gotten married, one of my colleagues that is no longer in the country, here and there. I'm happy for them, but then it just feels like, so in order for me to actually, pursue my dreams too as well without being distracted, I had to cut out myself from a lot of distractions. And there you have it. As God will have it, here I am today. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I am not where I used to be. So thank you very much.
That is a fact. I am not there yet, but I'm not where I used to be. That's a fantastic point. And I hope you are noting all this, because it is practical, raw, and unedited stories, not fabricated. Thank you very much. Mr. Sam Agubiade.
All right. I've been enjoying myself so far. Okay. Mr. Somisi spoke about reading books, and I think I remember a friend of mine once told me one thing, that we are who we are today based on, number one, the people we meet, the people we met, and then the books we read. So basically, human beings we are personality of influence. So what influences us also determine the kind of decision that we make. And then, Amaladi has said a lot about the fact that God factor. So there's something you cannot rule God factor out when it comes to decision making. So I would not be going through those two parts. I'll be going for my personal experience. I just hope that it blesses someone this evening. All right, for me, some of the best decisions I've made in my life, they were made when I was not comfortable. They were made when I was tired, I was broke, I was confused, when I was scared. That's when I made some of the best decisions that actually pilot my life today. Now, let me make it clear. Let me say it this way. The first thing I want us to understand is nobody. We're talking about the unspoken scars and all of that. Now, I categorize the unspoken scar as pain that we have endured, pain that we have gone through. And then decision making is as good as the gain that we make from the pain that we have gone through. Okay, so personally, I used to love my comfort zone. Like I used to enjoy it when I used to enjoy the soft life. I think that's what the Gen Z would say. Gen Z would call it the soft life. I love soft life. I don't like things to be hard for me. I don't like wahala. Most of the time, jokingly, I talk to people when we gist, and then they will say, "Oh, this." I will tell you when you are telling me to actually do something that is difficult, so to say, or something that requires extra stress. Now I'm talking about physical stress. I just tell you that. Wait, have you seen my skin? That's what I tell people. Have you seen my skin? That my skin is part of it that I sell. I don't like stress, and it's the truth. But of course, that's just on a lighter mood. But in the real sense of it, um, I've come to realize that the first thing is that nobody plans for hardship. Nobody plans for hardship. What Mr. Thomason has shared today, what Omalade has shared today, you will know that it was not something they planned for. Omalade did not plan to have 18 carryovers. Of course, she's on this call. You can ask her when I drop out. She never planned to have 18 carryovers. It was not her plan. So it's not like she wanted to have 18 carryovers and then she find a way to have it. No, she never planned for it. It happened. Now, after it happened, there are two things that might have happened. It's either that hardship, that pain, it's either it make you better or it traps you. So there are two things that hardship will do to people's life. It either make you better or it traps you. So if it makes you better, good for you. If it traps you, you can live in that dimension for the rest of your life without actually getting to where you're going to. So for me, most of my life is based on the hardship, on the scar, on the pain that I went through. So I'll give you a short story. I love to tell you my story, and I think when I speak my story, even without saying a lot afterwards, it will actually change some things about you. Because to be candid with you, I'm not here to motivate you. Mm-mm. Don't think that I am here to tell you how to aspire to a Maguire. I'm going to tell you things that are practical, things that I went through, things that I passed through before I get to where I am currently. Now, where I am, that's what everybody will tell you. Even Dangote will tell you that where he is today is not where he wants to. That is, it's not where he wants to be yet. But of course, it's not where he used to be. So that's the same thing for everybody. I'm not where I used to be. If I'm not where I was last month, that's just the reality. My life is a daily challenge. I want to be better than yesterday. I want to do things better than I did it yesterday. That's my life. All right. So let me quickly tell you this story, and then I will say what I need to say. Okay. So after my NYC, I went back home that I want to settle down. I want to relax for 1 month. I'm not going to look for a job. I'm not going to apply for any job. I'm not going to do anything for 1 month, which I did. I went back home. I was sleeping and waking up, eating and reading. I love to read books. I have my library here. I love to read books. So even now that I every month there's a percentage of my income that goes into buying books, because those are the things that made us. So for 1 month I didn't do anything. I didn't apply for a job and all of those things. Then after the 1 month I applied for a job, and then I think after 1 week I got a job. I got the job I applied to. And then I started the job, but it was not a job I would like to stay with. I do not like the job. And then I left after 1 month. I spent 1 month with that company and I left. And then the people that we were employed together, we were 13 that came to the job together. When I said I was leaving, they asked me, which job are you going into? I said, I don't have a job yet, but I'm not comfortable here and cannot stay here. So I had to leave. So I left. And I told some of them that they should leave. They said, no, this way they want to stay. And funny enough, 2 weeks after I left the job, something happened in that same office, and everybody were arrested, that their people have to go and bail them. The company left them alone. So I was like, wow, God is setting my life up in such a way that I will not have a criminal record. That's why I was not where I was. I had to leave the job before they arrest everybody. Everybody were arrested. Then I think 2 weeks after I left that one, I got a job with a financial institution. I was on that job for 6 months, for 7 months. And then I got another job with another financial institution. That was when COVID came in. So I was supposed to resume to the other financial institution, but then lockdown, and then we were asked to stay at home. And then that financial institution never called me back till today. Despite passing the interview and then ace everything out of those things, they never come back till today. Now, in the period of that, after I left the second job I was doing with financial institution, after the 7 months that I left the job, the period of 1 year, I was broke. Like, I was broke to the point that I could not afford to pay my rent. No, my rent is far. If I want to eat, I'll buy egg, I'll boil the egg, and then I'll break the egg inside nylon and boil it, and I'll cut it into smaller portion, and I'll put it inside sachet tomato and ground pepper. That was what I used as stew. I was that broke. And I'm talking about 2020. I'm talking about 2020. Stroke, early part of 2021. I was that broke. Now, it was at that moment, it was that point that I got clarity about where I want to go to and who I want to be eventually. So, being broke, that hardship actually did 3 things to me. The first thing is that it removes noise away from me. Why? Because at that time, I understand what truly matters. I know what matters to me, who matters to me, who to talk to, who not to talk to, where to be and where not to be. You know, some of the dreams that we have, some dreams die, but the right one actually survive. I have a lot of dreams. I have things that I've been doing, but at that time, I was nowhere. I was seriously down. You know, that one, the first thing is that it removes noise. It removes me from every noise around things. You know, when I had the money, I was a lot of things. I had people around, all of those things. But the first thing that happened to me was that the noise fades away. Then I was left alone. Then the next thing, it now exposed me to what are my priorities. Now I understand priorities. I know what it is. I know what scale of preference that was meant in economics. I knew what it meant at that time. Why you cannot do this, why you have to do this one because you do that one. So I come to that understanding. The other thing is that it forces me into responsibility. I am not somebody that loves to seek for help, like call you that come and help me to do this one and all of those things. I am not that kind of person. So it was difficult for me to actually look out for people to come and save me. I need to find a way to save myself. And that was a very serious turning point for my life. So see, when you are comfortable, see, I put in my notes, it's one of the mantras that I work with. I say comfort hides bad decisions. Bad decision making, hardship exposes it. See, when you are comfortable, there are bad and terrible decisions that you are making that you don't know. You don't know they are bad decisions because you are comfortable. Until hardship show forth, that's when you will realize that you've made a lot of bad decisions in your life. And then for you to be able to get out of it, you need to have a discerning spirit. So for me, what has shaped my decision in life is the ability to never be comfortable. You know, the story of my life in 2020 was not a decision to be uncomfortable. Life threw me into that situation, and then I became very, very uncomfortable. And then at that, my hardship zone, I was able to make decisions that retrace my life. See, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. When you are comfortable, every opportunity that comes to your way looks like a blessing. In fact, every open door to you looks like a progress. But see, when you are going through, when you become uncomfortable with the conventional things, when you become uncomfortable, you will realize that you will learn how to ask better questions. You will learn how to read people better. See, before you say yes to things, you will pause and reflect. You don't just open your mouth and just say, you don't talk everywhere. In fact, you start listening than you speak. Because hardship will force you to stop reacting to life. You start responding to life. Now, at the point I am right now, at every point in my life, I love not to be comfortable. I love to make sure that I am not staying on the same position. I just don't want to be comfortable because I know that comfort drives me into a situation whereby I just do things anyhow. So for me, my decision making life is sharpened, is shaped by my ability to not stay in my comfort zone. See, for me, I left home early. Like when I say I left home early, I stopped staying under my parents' roofs early in life. So that has given me the responsibility to pay rent for myself. So I'm not waiting for somebody to pay the rent for me. So I know that I need to do something. That's why I learned so many skills. See, I can write, I can design graphics, I can design websites without coding, non-code website development. I can do digital marketing. I have written books. I can do a lot of things. I can analyze data. All of these things that I can do, I did them. I learned those skills while things were hard and difficult for me. So at the time things were difficult for me, I did a lot of things. You know why? Because there was no clarity. And let me put it this way. Speed is nonsense without clarity. If you drive a car and then you wake in the morning and then there is fog on your windscreen and then your wiper is not working, no matter how skillful you are in driving, you cannot drive faster. As a matter of fact, this other one is even far. When it is raining heavily and you are on the highway, there's a limit to the speed. There's a limit to your speed. Why? Because there's no clarity. What drives us faster in life is clarity. So when things were hard for me, instead of it to trap me or harden me, it sharpened my discernment. I begin to ask questions about things that matter to my life, the kind of life that I want to live. It was at that time I read the book of the seven habits of highly effective people. It was at that time I began to define. Now imagine I've been around for some years. I went through school. I read some books in school. I did all of those things. It was in 2020. 2020 was a defining moment for me. Because, see, as an individual, you must be able to know your defining moments. 2020 was a defining moment for me. Because that was the time I settled down to write, to design a path that I want to follow in life. See, my parents are civil servants, and then they told me to bring my CV that they would use their influence where they work so that I can get a job there. Now, they are fantastic. They are fantastic. I mean, they trained me, they paid things for me, they live in their own house, they drive their car. They are fantastic. But the truth of the matter is that the life that I want to live is a life that multiplies and is a life that caters to children beyond the one that are my biological children. It's a life that goes into the villages and bring out a Kamoru, a John, a Samuel that has never in his life understood what they call digital skills. And then I train him and put him in a place where he can be better with his life. Now, that is the kind of life I want to build. Now, working the way they are working, I cannot achieve it. Staying in a kind of job that pays me a certain amount of money cannot help me to achieve it. So I am not building wealth for myself and my generation, just so to say. I'm building wealth for myself, for my generation, for the onboard generation, and for the lives out there that have not tasted wealth in their life. Now, for me to build that kind of wealth, my level of thinking must be different from the level of thinking of an ordinary person. So now, those are the things that designed the kind of. So now I have a clarity. I have a clarity of purpose. So it can help me to actually run faster. So now, for you to make a decision, you need clarity. What are the things that brings that clarity? For me, it was pain. It was hardship. It was hardship that brought about that clarity. I don't know if it's that I can show you my picture of 2020 and my picture of 2021. Even though if I can show you my picture of May 2020 and my picture of December, my picture of May 2021 and that of 2021, and you can see the two, you will know that indeed this is a defining moment for this person. Because since then till now, my life has changed. Because beyond the fact that I was broke, I was in debt. I mean, I was in debt at that time. I did a deal, a business with somebody that took away our money that we had to pay through our nose. I mean, I was planning for my wedding. I was being dragged here and there to pay the debt that I did not eat. But that is a story today. That's no longer I've paid it off. Right now, the person we see some business together and all of those things. But the point is, I did not allow those hardship to trap me. I healed from it, and I was able to make a turnaround for my life. And I will end it with this, because a lot of times, a lot of us are trying to, now for instance, some of us on this call, we are trying to, there's a life that we want to build that is bigger than what we are doing currently. And then we're looking at what can I do to actually get it bigger. I'll use this personal example. You know, I've been working and I've been doing some side businesses. But then I was unable to raise up to $1 million in my name. Like, I don't have $1 million to my name. So I went to a program, luckily. And then the program is filled with people that have done things. And then I asked them, how do you make your first 1 million? And a lot of them could not remember. Because when they made their first 1 million, it's been long. I was like, okay, you can't even remember when you made your first 1 million. That's crazy. I've never made my first 1 million. I'm in the same room with you. I cannot leave this place without being blessed. Then I asked, how did you make your first 5 million? And then they told me how they made their first 5 million. I was like, okay, we can. Then somebody said something that a lot of us, we are trying to achieve something. We are trying to increase our finances, for instance. Now, this can be applied to different phases of your life, but let me use finances because it is more practical. Now, at that time, I was trying to improve my finances, and then I don't know what to do. So I started a laundry business. Now, in the laundry business, when I iron a shirt, my profit is probably about 17 naira or 18 naira. So for me to actually make 800,000, you know how many shirts I will iron? 800,000 divided by 80 naira. You know how much it's going to be. But because people said, do business, when you do different kind of business, you have different kind of stream of income, you make money. But I realized that if you sit down with that laundry business, it cannot do what I need. It is that place that I realized that the person said, when the fish you are catching with your net, when the boat you are sailing on is small, the fish you are going to catch is going to be according to the size of your boat. You can't catch fishes that is beyond the size of the boat that you are sailing on. Now, for you to grow, to increase the quantity and the quality of the fish that you want to catch, you must increase the size of your boat. So if your boat can only give you 100,000 at the end of a month, you need a boat that can give you 5 million at the end of a month. So instead of you thinking small, it is important that you think bigger and then act on those big thinking. That statement changed my life. And then it determined the kind of business I can do. There are businesses you bring to my table today, I tell you I'm not doing it. Not because I don't have the skill set to do it, but it's not something I can do because at the end of the day, the returns on it cannot even buy my data in a month. So why should I spend time doing those things that will not amount to the kind of results that I'm looking for? So I'm saying to you today that hardship is another way for you to start responding to life instead of reacting to life. When you respond to life, you will live on impulse. You spend impulsively. Your emotional relationship with people is going to be terrible. All of those things because you react based on what comes your way. But when you have clarity, and then you will start responding to life. Not everything requires your energy. There are things that does not require your energy, and you will not put your energy to it. And that is one thing that has shaped my life. You cannot catch me on the street fighting with somebody. It is not possible. Me exchanging blow with somebody on the street, God forbid. God forbid. Because I know where I'm going to, and I know how to get to where I am going to on a step-by-step basis. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Sam. I could not pause you because I wanted to pour yourself out. And likewise, every of the speakers that have said the point, and it is very, very valid. I've checked the WhatsApp, the groups have not sent any message. So let's just wrap up with this advice to younger people. It's going to be like a 2-in-1. I want you to look at it like you are talking to your younger self. What is that thing or those things that you have done better? And also, I would like you to also add that how can youth grow together in such a platform like this? How can we grow together? That is, I want that to be part of your advice as you give an advice to your younger self, assuming that you are talking to your younger self. What are the things you have done better, and how can youth grow together? The power of network is very essential for growth. So I want us to have those package answers together. And why that is ongoing, let me quickly appreciate everyone for joining. Thank you, every one of you, for joining. This is YTOP Global, an organization for those who believe that they are young, they are talented, they are optimistic, and they are full of potential. This program is called YTOP and Friends for everyone that has participated in one of our programs or heard about us, and you really love to participate in all that we are doing. Welcome on board. And we are doing something massive in 2026. It's going to be massive. So just follow us on social media. If you are here, if you don't follow us on social media, my team will be dropping the link to the social media on this call right away. Please follow us on social media. Let's connect, see what we are doing, share with your friends and family so we all can grow together and have a more rewarding year ahead. Thank you very much. So also, if you are just joining us, just introduce yourself in the chat box so we can celebrate you for joining us. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Tomisin, to answer the question, advise your younger self and make it a poll.
All right, thank you very much, Dam Larry. It's been an interesting and explosive season. I've learned myself listening to the other speakers, and I have a lot written down that I also have to work on and act on. But to answer the question, what advice will I give to my younger self? Number one is find yourself early. Find yourself early. And once you find yourself, Be confident in yourself, and then dare to do things. Dare to do things. Dare to do things. Dare to do things. Um, so much can be learned. So much can be explored. So much can be discovered when you act on the ideas and the things that comes to you. One of my mentors said something very profound, and that I'm still trying to work on myself, and that's the fact that if any thought comes through your mind, so two things here. There are thoughts that you obviously know that this is negative thoughts, so they are not to be entertained. They are thoughts that you know that this is obviously from the devil, right? Like when we say something like, the devil has never told anybody to fast before, so the devil cannot tell you to fast. So there are some things like that. But then there are thoughts that are good thoughts. There are good ideas that flows through your mind. And when you think about it, others might not see what you are seeing. So the point is, if an idea, if a thought comes through your mind, the fact that it comes through your mind and it's a good thought and it has the potential to change the trajectory of your life, what it means is that you and God can make that thought to happen. If you ever thought of attending Harvard Business School, for example, if it's crossed your mind to attend Harvard Business School for a program of a master's, and then you look at your background and like, your background is nothing to write home about. The fact that that thought crosses to your mind and it came as a suggestion to you, either because you watched somebody or you saw it somewhere, it means that somehow, you and God can make it happen. But of course, it will require some level of work and some level of daring. So dare to do things. Dare to do things. Of course, again, with proper guidance. So if I'm going to advise my younger self, number one, find yourself early. Be confident in yourself, and then dare to do things. Dare to do things as it occurs to you. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of what will people say. Don't be afraid of what if it does not work out. Like I said, there are many things you are going to learn trying things. There are many things you are going to be exposed to. There are many provisions that will come along the way when you are out there trying to do things as a young people. The one thing I've learned is this. There's a stage in your life, there's a period of your life when people are obligated to do things for you. Naturally, they are just obligated to want to do things for you. But the moment you cross that season of your life and you have not learned to dare to do things that make people to do things for you, when you come to a particular a season in your life, people will not be there to do things for you, as it were. They will not be obligated to do things for you again. It's not going to be based on value. It has got to be based on what they are also going to get or gain from doing things from you. So understand that, and I trust that God will help you. Then how do we grow together? A lot happens within a community. A lot happens when you find yourself within a progressive community. And one of the lessons I've learned is the quality of who you are as a person will also influence the quality of the people you relate with. The quality of your dreams and your visions will gravitate towards the quality of the people you relate with. So If you have a low vision, if you have a small vision, you find yourself in small cycles. If you have a big vision, some of them might be scary. You'll find yourself in big cycles that makes that big vision possible, or you see it as something that is visible. So growing together starts with you as a person. Grow yourself, develop yourself. And that is what will now determine the quality of people that you'll be attracted to, that will now also be able to take you further than you have been. All right. So, Damilare, Mr. Samuel Agunbiade, Amalade, we wouldn't have been able to meet together like this, share this platform, share this moment, if we have not been a person of value ourselves. And then we are coming together into a space like this, and we are growing together. I've learned so much listening to Amalade. I've learned so much listening to Mr. Samuel. So that is growing together. Even though I'm a speaker on this call, I'm also learning something. So the quality of your person, the quality of your dreams, the quality of your vision will determine the quality of persons you are going to be attracted to. And that obviously will now determine the quality of life you're going to get to, the quality of places you're able to enter, the quality of room that you're able to get into. So I wish you all the best. I commit you to God and to the word of His grace. It is well with you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, Damilare.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sam. Mr. Tomlinson, this is fantastic. Thank you so much for that. The quality of your dreams, the quality of people that we connect to you, that is great. Mama, let's hear from you too.
Thank you very much. Mrs. said, just let me multiply it by 2. That I said it as well. You have said it all. You have said it all. To my younger self, I would say, maybe if I had known, I would have worked more on my emotional intelligence. Because I think one thing a lot of people struggle with these days is their emotional intelligence. You know, when you see people having inferiority complex, they're having these, not being able to stand, not because they don't have, not because the capacity is not inherent in them, but because they just, and this is due to maybe upbringings and all of that, experiences. And you just discover that people kind of chicken out when they get opportunities, and when they are faced with great opportunities, they just chicken out. So all of us here, we are still very young. Some persons might be married, some might not. But I think my advice would be that when we get to have our own children, we should do better in building them up, and also work on ourselves too, so that we will not bleed on them. We will not bleed on them. So to my younger self, I would say, face your fears. Don't ever let anyone talk you down. Don't ever let anyone bring you down. Just face yourself. Your fears. Discover who you are. Like I said earlier on, if you know you love to sing, please stay on it. That's your strength. You might do other things. If you know you love to write, if you know you love to draw, stay on it. If you can earn passively through it, do it. Just do that thing that makes you happy. Do that thing that when you are sleeping and they wake you up, you can easily do it by default. I feel maybe if I had started early enough to, write, then I knew I could write, but I always just felt, my writing, is it really good? I used to read the likes of Chinachibe, Chimamanda and all of that. I was just, I can't write like these people. And that fear kept coming like that till I had to break it off. So I just discover yourself, face your fears. And I think I wrote something here else here. Stay consistent. Whatever it is that you are doing, even if it is your talent, make sure you are consistent. Make sure you learn on it. I mean, learn more and more so that you become a master in it. When they wake you up in the night, you can do it. You know, I was telling someone, I said, I could do a spontaneous writing, poetry with someone. Like you're writing something, you can spontaneous, the way people do rap and they just, I could actually do that because over time, I think I've trained myself to be able to write, just write and write and write. And talking about growing together, one thing I would want us to take home tonight is don't hoard opportunities. Don't audit. Don't do that. When you have opportunity, you might not be able to give people money, you might not be able to help them at the time of their need, but do not hoard opportunities. You know that your friend, she is a baker. You know she is a baker, and there's a baking competition coming out, and you saw the flyer. Take it to her in DM. I mean, this is literally something that could help someone. Take it to her DM. Go and put it there. You know that your friend is a writer and you saw this writing opportunity somewhere. Don't audit. You cannot give her money, you can't give her anything. It will just take how many MB, send it to her DM, send those opportunities to them. Guess what? When you keep doing that, there will be a day when an opportunity will come for you. They will do the right thing as well. They would remember you that, oh, this person, even if they don't get to do all those things that you send to them, they would remember that, this person, she sent me something on this day. Let me send this to her. I think she loves to do this. Let me send it to her. So don't ever hoard opportunities. Don't hoard opportunities, from your friends, for them to learn. Don't audit. It is not all the time you get to give people money, like I said earlier. It's not all the time you get to give them money or give them advice or give them when you see opportunities. Because I'm a product of someone's opportunity sharing. She shared that opportunity with me, and here I am today. And this is because I would not stop. I don't know. Once I see it like this, I will quickly run to your DM. This is it. Quickly do it. Quickly do this and all of that. So, and when my time came, people remembered me as well. So wherever you find yourself, that's your school group, your class group. Share opportunities there. Connect with people. Connect with people, because when you are rich in people, when you are rich in men, it is even, most times, it is even more than being rich in your pocket. Because there are some times that your money will not help you, but men will be there to help you. So that's the way you can grow together. Thank you very much.
That is deep, and I'm already typing that in on my status. Dear youth, you are not in competition with anybody. Please don't hoard opportunity. Share it. Let somebody rise to you. Thank you very much. Mr. Samuel, over to you. Let's wrap it up. Mr. Samuel.
All right. I think with everything we've heard, putting them into practice is the most important thing. I mean, Mr. Tomisi, powerful, Mr. Omolade, powerful. It's been back to back. Like, I'm literally sitting and enjoying myself, basically. So I wrote a couple of things that I would tell my younger self. The advice I would give to my younger self. So I'll be fast with it so that I won't take much of our time. The first thing is this. I will start by saying that to my younger self, that you are not weak for feeling lost. Normal. That you feel like nothing is working right now. I'm not clear. I'm just trying my best. It's not coming through. Things are not feeling the way you feel. You're not weak. You're not late. You get that one right. You're not late. People think that, it's too late for me. You're not late. Mm-mm. There's this I tell people. When you get your car, for instance, you are the latest car owner in town that will celebrate. When your friend gets his own car tomorrow, I'm sorry, the attention will shift to the new person. The cocoa farmers, the houses used to be the mansion that we know. I mean, when you see young person in cocoa farming and then you see the house they build because of the money they make from it, hey, fantastic. Now, some of those structure today, they are obsolete. They are not in vogue. People are looking for new things. So you are not late, and don't ever think that you are late. And then the confusion you feel right now is not failure; it is formation. Um, that confusion, that you are confused, you don't know the next thing to say, you don't know the next thing to do. It's not failure; it is formation. Because at the time when I was confused, when I don't know where to go, when I don't know what to do, when I don't know how to go about things, um, I felt I felt I have failed. But then today I realize that that's part of my process because it formed me. Stop rushing life. Time is not your enemy. No, stop rushing life. See, everyone's journey is customized. Now, speed without direction leads to regret. You need to understand that. See, that's why you need to stop rushing life. Yeah, I need to achieve this one now. I need to it's calm down. Just calm down. Because speed without direction, it will lead to regret. At the end of the day, you will regret taking the action. And then delay is often their preparation in disguise. So when you are delayed, don't just think that delayer and then just be there doing nothing. It's a time for you to prepare. It's preparing you for a greater glory. So understand that life is not a race. Life is a process. Life is not it's not sprint. It is marathon, my dear. What feels slow today is building capacity for tomorrow. And then you need to learn the power of decision early. I mean, you need to understand that not every decision looks big, but every decision builds a future. I will say that again. Not every decision looks big, but every decision builds a future. So small choices compound. The choices that you make, or you choose when you're supposed to read, you're sleeping. It's a choice that you have made. When you're supposed to be attending seminars, you have gone to waste time in to have fun. It's a choice. And then well, if when talent lasts trust, because some of us will say, "Oh, I'm naturally talented. I'm naturally good." As you know that discipline beats talent. When talent lacks structure, if your talent lacks structure, discipline will beat you. That's the reality. There's nothing in this life you want to be that you cannot be. And there's this thing I always tell people: while you were in secondary school, you're a science student, you study physics, chemistry, biology, and all those things. You go to fashion institution, they've called you a biologist. You are very good in physics and chemistry, but now your focus is on biology. And then the school system designed you to be professional in biology. I'm sure that Mr. Tomisi Mr. Tomisi is somebody that can tell us a lot about that. I mean, he told you on this call how that he was in this particular field, and then now what he's doing and what he did then, what he did in school, I'm sure that they are not exactly the same thing. So you can be whoever you want to be. What I study in school is not what I'm doing currently, and not because of the condition of the country, but by decision and by choices. So don't, how will I put it? You can be anything you want to be. You only need to be disciplined. See, your future is hidden in your daily decisions. I don't know, but then that's the reality. The future you're looking for is hidden in the decision you make on a daily basis. See, and then don't ignore your pain. Listen to it. Because you will experience disappointment, betrayal, failure, loss. It is normal. All of these things will happen to you. You'll be disappointed. You go chop breakfast. Last, you don't cast last. Everyone go chop breakfast. You go chop breakfast from life, from work, from business, from relationship. You will face disappointment, betrayal, failure. It will happen to you. So don't suppress it. Don't numb it. Just process it. See, pain is not trying to destroy you. It is trying to teach you. If you see it that way, you will get better. Once you don't heal, you will repeat. Whatever you don't heal from will happen to you again. See, that he said, never, it cannot happen to me again. Some of you ladies on this call, maybe you have chopped breakfast more than once. Maybe you've trouble like 2 or 3 times. And then you keep saying that it will never happen again. I will not give my heart to any girl that will break it again. And then it happens to you again. The reason is because you did not heal from the past one. So because what you don't heal from, of course, it would repeat itself. And then you need to choose people carefully. See, all of these things are personal lessons in my life. They are written in my book. So if tomorrow you ask me to give advice to my younger self, I'll give it to you because these are the points where I missed it that I had to retrace. And I'm saying the same thing to my younger self now. Now, choose people carefully. Everyone around you is shaping your thinking, even in silence. So, access is powerful. You need to guard it. When people give you access, don't joke with it. It's very important. And then this one is this one is also very, very important. Build character before chasing success. Oh, success without character will expose you. See, who you are matters more than what you have. Either you like it or not. Who you are, it matters more than what you have. You can have the whole world. If you're not a good person, if you're not somebody anybody can come closer to, there's possibility that you are able to, your everything you have will not amount to anything. So the last thing I will say about that I would advise to my younger self, that we advise to my younger self before talking about how we can collaborate, is that your pain has a purpose. Your delay has a direction. Your story is still unfolding. One day, your younger self will thank you for the decisions you make today. So whatever decision that you feel that you need to make it today and don't procrastinate. Because, and then I will say, do not waste your scars. They are not proof that life broke you. They are proof that life shaped you. I love something that Omarade said. He said, somebody wanted to write a story, and then she was saying, like, what have I achieved, and all of those things, and this, and this, and this. But now she can talk about her scars. She says she wears her scars. That means she's not wasting it. Because they are proof that life has shaped her. It's not like life broke. She was not broken by life. She was shaped by life. So understand that as an individual. Don't waste your scars. They are not proof that. See, don't become pity party. That people will sit down and start pitying you and all of those things. No, do not. Don't allow it. Don't allow yourself to be pitied. Allow your pains, your scars, allow it to be shown that it shaped you. And then to how we can grow together as youth. The first thing I would say is that we can only grow together when you stop pretending. Don't fake success narratives. When you're in the room with your fellow people, when you need help, don't fake it. There are people you need to be vulnerable around and tell them your real situation. Don't try to impress everybody. It does not work. It does not change anything. See, normalize asking for help. I don't know how to use. Usually I don't know how to ask for help, but now I can ask for help because I realize that when I ask for help, I get results and I grow. So please, healing and growth begin where honesty lives. You need to grow. When you share honesty, when you stop pretending, when you're honest with yourself, that's how we can work together to grow together. And then instead of us competing for relevance and comparing progress, pulling others down, let us share knowledge. Let us combine strength. Let us celebrate collective wins. See, get this straight. Another person's success does not reduce your own capacity. That somebody is failing does not mean you are succeeding. Somebody does not have to fail for you to succeed. Everybody can succeed at their own pace. So let us stop looking out for people to go down so that we can go up. No. Let all of us be able to be together and then we can grow together. And then finally, I will say this. Let us practice mutual support. Let's not think of relationship as transactional. Not that what do you want to do for me? What do I want to do for you? No. Let a relationship not be transactional. Let us support people even when they cannot help us. See, there's something that I have learned that has really helped me. The best set of people that I give my resources to are people that cannot pay me back. That now, in the sense of it, at that instance, I know they cannot, I'm not expecting anything in return. So if anything come back in return, it's not because I expected it, but I did it because because it is me to do it. So for us to grow together, you need to start supporting people, not because they can, not because they're going to pay you back, but because you are genuinely supporting it. Myself and YTOP, I mean, we wouldn't have had a relationship. We met on a project together. We were working on a project together, and then we came together like this. And then for years, for this, YTOP is doing this, I'm here, I'm doing this, he's there. The only thing that YTOP will not support me on is what I don't call him to do. And he's not doing it because he's expecting me to do anything in return. As a matter of fact, if I don't do anything in return, he will still do what he needs to do. Now, am I saying that I don't do things in return for people? Am I saying don't appreciate what they do for you? No, appreciate what they do for you. But you as a person, do things without expecting anything in return. See, show up without calculating benefits. A lot of us, we are not making progress because we first sit down, we skim our way, we skim it. If I do this thing, what will I gain in return? Oh, the benefit is not much, I'm not doing. Stop skimming. Stop skimming. Just support, show up without calculating benefits. And then build trust before opportunity. Before you start looking for opportunity, build trust. Let people trust you. Don't come to my DM because you are looking for opportunity around me. See, people know when you want to use them. Either you like it or not. But when you build trust, of course, opportunity will flow. So just as Omalade said, she shared information for people. Even people that are not in her field, when she sees the opportunity, she shares with them. And that's because she trusts that they can deliver too. The same thing for her. When it was her time, people could share for her because they could share with her because she's trustworthy. So let's build trust. See, the strongest communities are built on genuine care. They are not built on I am better than you. They are built on genuine care. So if there's anything you are taking away from this part, I will say that, see, the journey from pain to gain is easier when we work together. If all of us can collaborate, if we can genuinely help each other, if we can actually move together without skimming our ways through things, I believe that we can grow together and then overcome our pain with lesser stress. Thank you.
I'm on my head. My head, oh. Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you, Omolade. Thank you, Mr. Luatomi. It's a lot. No. It's a lot. No. It's a lot. I love one thing that is like a hammer. Bam. Don't show up calculating. If you are following the chart, calculating what? It is clear. It says, do not show up calculating benefits. It's deep. Let me just wrap up because the time is fast spent. So I appreciate everybody for joining tonight. And one thing as you leave this space tonight, I need you to remember this. First, you are not behind, you are not broken, and you are not incapable. If the journey feels slow, it doesn't mean that you are failing. It means that you are growing roots before you rise, just as Mr. Thomason said it. Carry your story with courage. Use your scars as a reminder of strength, not shame, as somebody said. And take the next step, even if it is small, even if it is quiet. Growth does not always announce itself, but it always rewards those who stay honest, consistent, and connected. Don't forget, growth always rewards those who stay honest, consistent, and connected. So go forward with clarity, move with purpose, and never forget that we rise together. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us tonight. We remain YTOP Global because we are young, we are talented, we are optimistic, and we are full of potential. We would like to get your feedback. Please comment your feedback in the feedback form that will be shared on the group by my team member. And I will be giving you something to take home. That is an affirmation that you can take home, paste it on your wall, and you declare it every day. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I love you. I wish you the best. Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year ahead. Thank you to all my team and everyone that joined this call. We really appreciate you. Remember, we are young, talented, optimistic, and full of potential because we are YTOP Global.